Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be tackling entrepreneurial motivation.
Oh, yeah?
And, we always like to have a source
Of course.
to kind of ground us and guide us.
Absolutely.
So the book that we're using for this deep dive is Time on Your Side: Techniques for Sustaining Entrepreneurial Motivation.
I love that.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So whether you are an entrepreneur yourself,
Mhm.
or you're thinking about taking the leap, or you're just interested in what makes entrepreneurs tick, get ready because this is going to be good.
Yeah, this book is so interesting. It really dives right into the emotional side of things,
Mhm.
right from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it doesn't sugarcoat it at all.
It doesn't.
It acknowledges the highs and the lows of the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster, right?
Totally.
It is a constant up and down. But what's interesting is that the book argues that understanding that emotional roller coaster is actually key to avoiding burnout.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's not just about like toughing it out or, just pushing through.
Gritting your teeth.
Yeah, gritting your teeth and like white knuckling it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about learning how to ride the waves.
It's like, think about it. You pour your heart and soul into landing a major client, right? And then, boom, out of nowhere, the deal falls apart.
Oh, yeah.
Or you finally launch that product you've been slaving over for months, and it just flops.
Ugh, I can't even imagine.
Those are the kinds of moments that can really throw you off balance if you're not prepared.
And that's where burnout comes in,
Yeah.
which this book really dives into.
Head on.
Like head on. And it even has this whole list of like warning signs to watch out for,
Yeah.
some of which were a real eye-opener for me.
Oh, really?
I mean, like I knew feeling overwhelmed was bad,
Yeah.
but the book really gets into how that feeling can spiral into like helplessness.
Right.
It's like you're just drowning in tasks and like nothing you do makes a difference.
And that's when you start losing the joy in what you're doing. It's not just being stressed. It's about this feeling of dread,
Right.
Every time you think about work.
Every time you even think about work.
Yeah, and that's a major red flag.
Yeah, I can see that.
For sure.
And then it's fascinating how the book connects those emotional warning signs to actual cognitive problems too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's not just in your head, it's like affecting your brain.
Yeah, burnout messes with your ability to think clearly.
Yeah.
Like you get brain fog. You can't make decisions. Even simple tasks feel impossible.
It's like your brain is just fried.
Totally fried, running on fumes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there are the physical symptoms.
Oh, yeah.
The exhaustion, headaches, stomach issues. Your body's basically screaming at you to slow down.
Like, hit the brakes.
You hit the brakes.
So how do we avoid driving ourselves to burnout in the first place?
Wow.
The book seems to really emphasize building resilience.
It's fascinating how the book frames it as a skill,
Oh, interesting.
not just something you're born with,
Okay.
like a muscle you can train.
So what are some of the exercises that we can do to build that bounce back muscle?
Well, one of the most powerful tools is reframing.
Reframing.
So instead of seeing setbacks as failures, what if you viewed them as valuable data points?
Okay.
It's not about ignoring the negative. It's about shifting your perspective to see what you can learn
I like that.
from the situation.
Yeah.
That way you're turning a potential source of discouragement into fuel for growth.
Turn that lemon into lemonade.
Exactly.
The book also talks about breaking down massive goals into smaller, more manageable steps,
Yes.
which I think makes a lot of sense, especially when it comes to that feeling of overwhelm.
Absolutely. It's about creating a sense of progress,
Yeah.
which is incredibly motivating when you're facing a mountain of a goal.
Mm.
It's easy to get discouraged,
Oh, yeah.
but when you break it down into smaller milestones, you get these little bursts of accomplishment that keep you moving forward.
So it's like those little wins along the way really help.
Totally.
And the book doesn't just focus on individual strategies. It really highlights the importance of having a strong support network. Why is that so vital for entrepreneurs?
Imagine you're facing a major challenge in your business.
Yeah.
You've hit a wall, you're feeling completely lost.
Yeah.
Now imagine having a group of people to turn to, mentors, fellow entrepreneurs, friends and family who understand what you're going through.
It's like having a safety net.
Exactly. They offer encouragement advice, sometimes just a listening ear.
Just a vent.
Exactly. And that sense of connection reminds you that you're not alone in this crazy journey,
Yeah.
which can make all the difference.
For sure. One thing that really struck me about this book is how much it emphasizes personal values.
Oh, yeah.
And I've always felt that passion is important,
Of course. Yeah.
but I never really connected it to like a strategic advantage.
It's about aligning your business goals with what truly matters to you.
Okay.
When your work is an expression of your values, it creates this deeper sense of purpose. And that purpose becomes your driving force, the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, even when you're facing obstacles.
And I love how the book uses real-life examples to illustrate this.
Yes.
Like the story of Howard Schultz and Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about selling coffee.
Right.
It's about creating this company that values its employees and fosters a sense of community.
And when Starbucks faced, those major financial challenges during the recession, Schultz doubled down on those values.
Really?
Instead of cutting costs at the expense of his employees, he invested even more in training and benefits.
Wow.
And you know what? That commitment to his values, even during tough times, is what helped Starbucks not only survive, but emerge even stronger.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about making smart strategic decisions
Yes.
that are aligned with your core beliefs.
Absolutely.
And then the book brings in the practical side of things,
Yeah.
specifically financial planning,
Right.
which I think is so interesting.
Financial instability can be incredibly stressful.
I can imagine.
When you're constantly worried about money, it's hard to focus on anything else.
Yeah, let alone be creative and strategic in your business.
Exactly.
So the book is arguing that having a solid financial plan actually frees up mental space for everything else.
It's like clearing out the clutter in your mind. Instead of being consumed by those anxieties about money, you can direct that energy toward building your business, nurturing your team, pursuing your passions.
And you mentioned zero-based budgeting as a strategy from the book.
Yeah.
Isn't that super time-consuming, though?
It can be a bit more work up front, but it forces you to be intentional about every dollar you spend. You're not just carrying over expenses from the previous month. You're starting from scratch and asking yourself, do I really need this?
Oh, okay.
It's about eliminating waste and making sure that your money is aligned with your goals.
And then the book also talks about utilizing financial technology tools.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is where a lot of entrepreneurs could really benefit from some guidance.
There are so many apps and software out there these days that can automate expense tracking, generate financial reports, even help you forecast cash flow.
Wow.
Imagine having a clear, real-time picture of your finances at your fingertips.
Yeah.
That's the power of these tools.
It's like having a crystal ball, almost.
Almost.
And then there's securing funding for recovery.
Right.
So the book acknowledges that sometimes you need to seek external support. It's not always about bootstrapping. It's about knowing when to ask for help.
Exactly. Seeking funding can be humbling, but it's important to remember it's not a sign of failure.
Right.
The book actually frames it as a strategic move, a way to gain access to resources and expertise that can help you take your business to the next level.
So you're not just asking for money, you're asking for help, essentially.
Exactly. But you need a solid recovery plan in place before approaching investors.
That makes sense.
You need to show them that you've learned from your setbacks and that you have a clear vision for the future.
Okay, so speaking of planning, let's dive into time management.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite topics.
The book covers a bunch of techniques, but the one that really stood out to me was the Pomodoro technique.
Interesting.
When I first read about it, I was so skeptical.
Really?
But then I tried it, and it really helped me focus. Like, why does it work so well?
It's all about working with your brain's natural rhythms, not against them.
Okay.
Our brains can only focus for so long before they need a break, right?
Right.
The Pomodoro technique embraces that those short breaks prevent mental fatigue and keep your energy levels up.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the book doesn't just focus on the Pomodoro technique, does it?
No, it explores other methods too, like the Eisenhower matrix.
Yeah.
Which is great for prioritizing tasks, and time blocking, which involves scheduling specific blocks of time for different types of work.
So it's really about finding what works for you.
Exactly. Tailoring your approach to your individual needs and goals.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I want to touch on something that really resonated with me. It's the book's emphasis on staying aware of market trends.
Yes.
It's not just about that internal motivation.
Right.
It's about understanding those external forces that can impact your business.
Absolutely. It's recognizing that entrepreneurship isn't a solo sport. It's about being responsive to the constantly changing world around us.
That's so true.
Market trends can be opportunities or threats. And staying informed helps you stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah. I love the example the book gives about the real estate agency that embraced technology.
Yeah.
Instead of clinging to those traditional methods, they incorporated virtual tours, online listings, social media marketing.
They understood that consumer behavior was changing.
Yeah.
And they adapted.
Yeah.
That kind of agility is crucial.
Yeah, because it's like if you're not growing and evolving with the market, you're going to get left behind.
For sure.
And that can be incredibly demotivating.
Absolutely. Staying relevant can actually be a major motivator. It's about seeing change not as a threat, but as a challenge to embrace.
This has been a fantastic deep dive so far.
It has.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From the emotional roller coaster of entrepreneurship to the practical strategies for building resilience, managing finances, and staying ahead of those market trends.
Absolutely.
But there's even more to explore.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's interesting how staying aware of those market trends kind of ties back to something we discussed earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Like aligning your business goals with your personal values.
You mean like making sure your business is evolving in a way that still feels authentic to you?
Exactly. If you're constantly chasing trends that don't resonate with your core beliefs, you know, it's going to be hard to stay motivated.
Yeah, it's like you're building someone else's dream, not your own.
Exactly.
It's so easy to get caught up in the hype and lose sight of why you started your business in the first place.
Right.
But this book really drives home the point that passion is key for long-term success.
Yeah, passion is what gives you that energy to keep going when things get tough. You know, it helps you weather the storms and come out stronger.
Yeah.
And, you know, passion, it contagious.
Oh, really?
When you genuinely love what you do, it inspires your team, it attracts customers, it creates this ripple effect.
So it's like a superpower almost.
Kinda.
But I'm curious, is passion something you're just born with, or can it be cultivated?
That's a great question, and the book actually addresses that.
Okay.
It argues that while some people might have a natural inclination towards certain things, you know, passion is ultimately something you develop and nurture.
Okay.
It starts with identifying what truly lights you up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you curious about? What problems are you passionate about solving? What kind of impact do you want to make?
Like what gets you fired up?
Exactly. Once you've tapped into that inner spark, then you can start aligning your business goals with those passions.
And I love how the book uses the story of Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx,
Oh, yeah.
to illustrate this.
She faced so much rejection.
She does.
Like investors just didn't see the potential in her product at first. But Blakely was so passionate about her idea about empowering women that she just didn't give up.
Wow.
She kept refining her product, she kept pitching her vision, and eventually her passion and persistence paid off.
It did.
Spanx became a global phenomenon, and Blakely became a billionaire entrepreneur.
That's amazing.
It's a great story.
It really shows that passion can be a powerful weapon against self-doubt and those inevitable, external obstacles that we all face.
Right. It's not just about individual success either.
Oh, okay.
The book highlights how passion can drive positive change in the world.
So it's like bigger than just you.
Yeah, exactly. That's where purpose comes in, the idea that your business can be a force for good.
I like that.
When your passion is aligned with a larger purpose, it creates this incredible synergy
That makes sense.
that can fuel your motivation for years to come.
Okay, so we've talked about the highs,
Right.
but let's get real for a second. What about the lows?
Yeah.
The book doesn't shy away from the psychological impact of those inevitable business setbacks.
It's true. It's refreshing how the book acknowledges that setbacks aren't just financial or logistical. They can really hit you on a personal level
Yeah.
and even affect your sense of self-worth.
Oh, wow.
It's like the book is giving us permission to acknowledge the emotional ups and downs.
To be human.
To be human. Exactly.
It's okay to not be okay all the time.
Exactly. And it's okay to feel disappointed, frustrated, even scared when things don't go our way.
Yeah, but it's what we do with those emotions that matters.
And that's where the book's practical advice really shines.
Okay.
It provides strategies for coping with those negative emotions and building resilience.
So like tools for our toolkit.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that setbacks are inevitable but temporary, and they don't define us.
So it's not about pretending those negative emotions don't exist.
No.
It's about having healthy coping mechanisms in place.
Exactly. And the book emphasizes that different things work for different people. Some find solace in mindfulness practices like meditation or yoga, while others rely on their support network for encouragement and advice.
Yeah.
The key is to find what helps you stay grounded when the pressure's on.
And the book even goes so far as to suggest seeking professional help when needed.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I think is important to mention.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we don't have to go it alone.
There's no shame in asking for help, whether it's from a therapist, a business coach, a financial advisor.
Right.
In fact, seeking guidance from experts can be a sign of strength.
It can.
It shows that you're committed to taking care of yourself and your business.
You know, we talked about financial planning earlier,
Yeah,
but I think it deserves a deeper dive, especially in the context of sustaining motivation.
absolutely. When you're constantly worried about money, it's hard to focus on anything else, let alone be creative and strategic.
Right.
Financial instability can be a major drain on your motivation.
The book really emphasizes that financial planning isn't just about crunching numbers.
Right.
It's about creating a sense of security and control.
It's about knowing where your money is going, having a plan for the future, building a safety net.
So you can weather those storms.
Exactly. When you have your financial house in order, it frees up mental energy.
To focus on what you're passionate about.
Exactly.
You know, one strategy from the book that really resonated with me was this concept of aligning your financial goals with your personal values.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
It's like, what does financial success really mean to me?
Right. Is it about accumulating wealth for wealth's sake? Or is it about creating a business that supports your lifestyle, your family, your community?
You're like, what's it all for?
Exactly. When your financial goals are in sync with your values, it adds a whole new layer of motivation.
That's so true.
It's not just about making money, it's about making a difference.
Okay, so speaking of powerful, this book has this whole chapter called Reflecting on Your Journey.
Yeah.
Which I think is so valuable.
That chapter is all about taking a step back and assessing where you are on your journey. It encourages you to celebrate your wins, learn from your mistakes, and reaffirm your commitment to your goals.
It's like a journaling prompt almost.
Yeah, it's like asking yourself, what have I learned? What am I most proud of? What do I need to change?
What am I still passionate about?
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, passion is the fuel that keeps us going. It's the lifeblood of our entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, and I love how the book frames reflection not as an endpoint,
Right.
but as a springboard for setting future goals and maintaining that momentum.
Yeah, it's about using the lessons of the past to fuel the journey ahead.
Okay, so speaking of future goals, I think that's the perfect transition into the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
All right, so welcome back to the final part of our deep dive.
Here we are.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we really have.
From the emotional roller coaster to aligning our work with our values, and even the nitty-gritty of finances and time management.
The practical stuff.
The practical stuff.
All important.
It all matters. So now let's talk about the future. You know, how do we take all these insights and actually use them
Right.
to set ourselves up for long-term success?
Well, that's where that last chapter, setting future goals, comes in.
Okay.
You know, it's not just about dreaming big.
Right.
It's about setting goals that are both ambitious and achievable.
Yeah.
The kind that keep you motivated
Yeah.
and moving forward.
And I really appreciate how the book emphasizes aligning those goals with your personal values.
Oh, for sure.
It's like, what's the point of achieving something if it doesn't feel true to who you are?
Exactly. It's about building a business that you can be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
A business that makes a positive impact. A business that reflects your values. When you have that kind of alignment, your goals become so much more than just tasks to check off a list.
Yeah.
They become an extension of your purpose.
So it's like a deeper meaning almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, let's be realistic. Sometimes those big goals
Wow.
can feel overwhelming.
Totally.
And, you know, the book talks about the importance of financial planning too, right?
Oh, yeah. It's not just about the vision. It's about having a realistic roadmap.
Absolutely. Financial planning gives you that structure and clarity you need to turn those dreams into reality.
Hmm.
It's about breaking down those massive goals into smaller steps, you know, setting financial milestones that keep you on track.
Those little wins along the way.
Exactly.
And of course, we can't forget about time management.
Right.
It's all coming together now.
I'm starting to see the big picture.
I know, right? It's like a puzzle.
Time management is essential for achieving any goal, big or small. It's about prioritizing, minimizing distractions, focusing your energy,
Staying focused.
and being flexible and adaptable.
Oh, yeah. Because as we know, things don't always go according to plan.
Never a straight line.
Never.
Yeah.
Speaking of detours, the book doesn't pretend that setbacks don't happen,
Oh, they happen?
but it offers a really interesting way of looking at them.
Right. Setbacks are inevitable, but they don't have to be the end of the story.
Okay.
Instead of seeing them as failures.
Yeah. What if we saw them as opportunities for growth?
I like that.
Each setback is a chance to learn,
Okay.
to adapt, to come back stronger.
It's like that saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8.
Exactly. It's about resilience, that bounce back muscle.
That we were talking about.
Exactly. The key is to not let those setbacks derail you from your goals.
Don't let them get you down.
Yeah. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and use those lessons to fuel your future success.
So it's about learning from our mistakes.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the book's final message, which I think is so important.
Okay.
Maintaining momentum.
Yes.
How do we keep that entrepreneurial fire burning bright even when things get tough?
Maintaining momentum is a daily practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's about staying connected to your passion, staying focused on your goals, and celebrating those wins no matter how small.
I like that.
It's about building a supportive network of people who believe in you.
Your cheer squad.
Yeah, and encourage you to keep going. And it's about taking care of yourself mentally and physically, so you have the energy and resilience to navigate the ups and downs.
It's like a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
You know, it's like the book is reminding us that we have the power to shape our own future.
We do.
Time is on our side.
Yes.
We can build businesses that are both successful and fulfilling.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with a question.
Okay.
If you had to pick one strategy from everything we've discussed today
Mm-hmm.
to implement in your own life or business,
Yeah.
what would it be and why?
What would it be?
Let us know. We would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
And of course, for even more motivation-boosting strategies, be sure to check out Time on Your Side.
It's a good one.
It's a must-read for any entrepreneur, whether you're just starting out or you've been at it for years.
For sure.
Until next time, keep diving deep. Keep those entrepreneurial dreams alive, and remember, time is on your side.